Welcome to Overwhelmed to Overcomer podcast with coach, encourager, and strategist Anna McLaughlin. If you're a Christian woman who has big dreams rooted in an even bigger God, but most days those dreams feel completely out of reach, trust me, I get it. As a homeschooling mama of 4, entrepreneur, investor, and all around wearer of many hats, I am right there with you. And yet the Lord invites us to live out our God-given purpose now in the midst of the madness. So let's explore together how we can know our calling and walk in it today with clarity, with courage, with each other. It's time for you to live the life you love and love the life you live. Let's do this thing. Friend, I have just the shortest little message for you today. I know we say that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm coming to you in a way I don't normally come. Quite raw, just crying. Just I don't even know that we got to the point of like face wash, teeth brush this morning. We're just going. We're just going for it. Because I have to tell you this. We've shifted into a season in my life where life has gotten a little bit smaller. And I was kind of bemoaning that before the Lord this morning. And I was talking to my husband last night. So this was kind of an extension of that conversation before the Father this morning. As I was talking to my husband, I was like, can we really justify me working less? Can we really? And it was this, there was this. It wasn't about so much the money. It was this question of, am I really offering enough value to our family? That's more than the X dollars an hour or whatever I could earn by going out and doing a thing. Because I've always been doing a thing since leaving law. Had about a year of having our second child and staying home, and then started doing and started going out and earning the money and always juggling it all and like smaller business, just trying to kind of mix it all together and hold it together. And I was just looking at him. I was like, am I enough? Like just me being present? Is that really worth it to you? Is it really worth it to the kids? Just me. Not useful anymore. Not this is my words. This is not what I'm speaking over anybody. So I want you to hear me. This was my wrestle before the Lord. Am I offering enough value just by being with you, with the children, to justify me not bringing in dollars? And I'm really struggling with that. He said, hasn't it always been your dream to just be home with the kids? And we did it this way. We hustled so as to create space. But root produces fruit. So how is hustling going to create peace and rest? It can't. And we'll get in this space as human beings, won't we? Where we're like, I just need to lean in for a little while. I just need it to be crazy for a little while. The hair is just going to be on fire for a little while. And don't mistake, this is not the same as seasons. And please go back and listen to the Kathy Garland interview because oh my stars, we'll never think of that word balance versus seasons in the same way again. Never ever. That's not to say there aren't seasons of challenge and trial and stretching. But it's more with what posture are we showing up in our lives? If we're crazed and exhausted and frustrated, showing up in that way, building a business in that way, generating an income in that way, going to work in that way is going to yield crazed and frustrated and overwhelmed and all of that as well. Okay. Root produces fruit. Root informs what the fruit's going to be. Right. And so, why did I think that me showing up from a place of unworthiness was going to somehow yield worthiness? I'm just going to be crazed and crazy for a little while because we got to hustle for the thing. And then somehow we're going to have space. But it never worked, right? There was always just tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, just one more, one more thing that needed attention, one more, gosh, you guys, I'm like, I have to tell you the punchline of all of this. Okay. Because I'm not even catching my words because I just have to get to the point of this whole thing. So here I am asking the question, am I adding enough value? And the Lord said this to me this morning. Love is never small. Love is never small. sometimes we think that little thing that we do is so insignificant. Is it even worthwhile? Bringing a meal to someone who's having a hard time, stopping and having an encouraging word with a stranger or a neighbor, telling the cashier, "That's a cute blouse. I hope you have a great day." It seems too small. We dismiss it, we overlook it. We talked about this in here before. There's this fantastic remember back in the 90s when the VW Bug was like refabbed and every teenager wanted one. There was this great commercial that showed some sort of sweet encounter taking place that really just hit the heart. And then it traced back in time through all of these, again, kind, sweet interactions. And the origin of the whole thing was that someone saw a VW Bug driving down the street and smiled. Someone caught that smile, passed it on, passed it on, passed it on until we end up at the moment at the end of the commercial, all precipitated by this one car. You, my friend, are the car. Your one little moment, your one little deposit creates a ripple that you cannot even fathom. That blessing, that kind word to someone at just the exact right moment pulls them out of a space that is hard and dark. They needed you. And the Lord put you there to give the gift. Right? Love is never small. So if you're just by chance asking any of those questions over your own life, is it worth it, what I'm doing? Whatever it is, maybe your life is becoming more focused like mine is, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's expanding in some way. Maybe you're going out and doing something new and brave and it feels little right now. Maybe you're thinking of taking on something and you're like, will it even make a difference? A friend of mine wrote a book, and when she brought forth the first printed copy, she said, this is the result of 15 minutes a day, stacked one on top of the other. We can do anything that he calls us to do in small measures. In fact, there was a reel I saw the other day that got passed around in my coaching group that I'm a part of, and was talking about if a decision or an action feels too overwhelming, it's because you have not broken it down to a small enough piece. So she talked about she was a writer. I need to write an article. Too much. I need to write a paragraph. If that feels overwhelming, I need to write a sentence today. If that feels overwhelming, I need to write one single word. What happens? We begin, and way leads on way leads on way leads on way, and we write the article, we write the book, we do the performance, we execute on the play or the work project or whatever the thing is, we do it. It took one step at a time. We judge so harshly these daily actions that we take. We decide they're not good enough. And I'm actually talking about even something different as I'm saying this. Like little things matter. We actually have a podcast episode on that way, way back in the beginning. You got to go to like spring 2024 for that one. But that's one of my key principles. Little things matter. But I start to doubt it too. I start to think, what's the difference? We hung a chin-up bar in our bathroom, right between where you go from the bathroom to the bedroom, which for some reason, and I don't understand this, but maybe it's just for this one purpose, there is no door in our bedroom from the bedroom suite into the shower. There's like the little toilet closet, but there's no door right there, which makes it perfect for a chin-up bar, but not so great for any form of privacy whatsoever. Like I'll go to take a shower and all of a sudden it's like I'm holding court in there. All the children. Just why? Why are you here? I do not know. Obviously that's not what we're talking about, but I tell you, please let me know I'm not alone on this one, because for the love, sometimes. Okay, so no door. So the chin-up bar goes perfectly. Walk back and forth underneath that thing a million times a day. And about a year ago, I started doing chin-ups. I got up to 10 chin-ups. And then I was like, I'll just take a day off. I'll just rest. It's not a big deal. And then it got to the point where I was like, is it really making that big of a difference? Am I really that much stronger because I do a couple of chin-ups? I don't know. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And for those of you guys that have been listening here for a minute, I've been talking recently about like movement has felt hard to integrate, right? And so I got sick of hearing my own self say it. Remember, we talk about cognitive dissonance. We can't keep saying we value something and acting differently. So my actions started changing, right? And so I started again. Could barely do 1 or 2. I was like, that's okay. When I pass under this chin up bar, I'm going to do what I can. And now I'm up 5, getting to 6. I can feel myself getting stronger. But when that thought creeps in again, it doesn't matter. Just a few chin ups. What does it matter if you do it when you walk under the bar today or not? That's when we lose the battle. So I'm going to tell you right now, that's true with actions, but all the more so with love. When you deposit 1 ounce of love, you can move mountains, right? I know the Lord said faith moves mountains. Faith, hope, and love. What's the greatest? It's love. So I'm here to tell you today that what you're doing is enough because He makes it enough. Doesn't mean you're not fallen, doesn't mean you don't have flesh, doesn't mean you don't sin, but He makes you righteous because of His cross and His blood. So you are made righteous. And so, like we've talked about in here, the line from Henri Nouwen or Henry Nouwen, however you say it, was visiting with a friend. They talked, they laughed, and they grew quiet. And then they parted ways. And he said, from here on out, every step between us is holy. When you offer love, you are sowing that blessing, that touch from God, that holy kiss on another person. My friend, love is never small. Now, I literally just popped on mid-cry to tell you that. Love is never small. Go forth in love today. I'm really supposed to be schooling my kids, but I had to share that message with you. So if you're watching on YouTube, there's a little face peeking behind the curtain. And there's another little voice that's coming from sideways. So I'm going to go and serve my people. I'm going to believe that love is never small. And I'm going to encourage you to go forth and do the same. Be blessed, my friend. Remember, till next time, you've got this because He's got you. Friend, thank you so much for listening to this most recent episode of Overwhelmed to Overcomer. So listen, the whole idea behind this mission is that when we endeavor to be brave with our lives, we need to do it together. Belonging is key. So if you resonated with the message from this episode, share it with a friend. Do it together. Thank you again. And never forget, you've got this because He's got you.